What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sports with Wes. My name is Wes Crochet. Doing this periodically, just giving thoughts on different sports topics that I find interesting. Today's show is going to be about the Texas Longhorns and specifically a report of Arch Manning ripping off some runs like he's Daniel Jones in practice. And it got me thinking about some of the questions that I have of the Texas Longhorns as they head into a pivotal season, their final season in the Big 12, and that's specifically about the defense and their ability to get off the field. So, on one hand, thinking about Arch Manning using his legs to make plays at practice, that's a great thing for him. He's not a guy that's typically been thought of as a dual threat quarterback, though anytime a quarterback can use their legs as an added bonus, added weapon to make plays, typically that's only a good thing. So great to hear that Arch Manning is ripping off runs. I keep saying like Daniel Jones because that's how I picture him running. But great to hear that Arch Manning is ripping off runs in practice to extend plays, to make big plays, extend drives, whatever it may be. On the flip side, what is that saying about the defense? And Coach Sark actually spoke to this a little bit. He added some context that in these moments when Arch Manning had been making these big plays, that the defense was often in man coverage. So they were paying attention to the certain assignments they had in man coverage, but they were obviously forgetting about the quarterback, which is an important person to think about, especially in this day and age in football when more and more athletes are playing the quarterback position, and a lot of these quarterbacks can make plays with their legs. So got me thinking about the defense. And I've had some questions about the defense. I think it's just as big of a year for the defense and for Pete Kwiatkowski as it is for Texas overall. And something that I'm going to be paying attention to and really watching this season is how well Texas does on conversion downs when they need to get off the field. And I say that to say Arch Manning being able to get big plays with his feet makes me think of situations where the defense could be in on a third and long. Let's say it's third and 13 or third and 14, and then done a good job of holding the opposing offense off for a couple downs, and now we're at a pivotal third down. You know, sometimes these are situations where if a play does get extended or a drive does get extended, it happens because the quarterback is able to use their legs once the receivers get upfield, takes the defenders with them. A quarterback can use their legs to extend plays, and so it made me start thinking about that situation more. And that really is one of my top questions going into this season is how can this Texas defense, how will they perform on conversion downs? And so I wanted to look at some stats, and this was looking back to last season. And what's kind of interesting, I actually ended up looking at the defensive side on conversion downs, and I got curious. I wanted to look at the offensive side on conversion downs. And what's interesting is in wins, the offense actually did pretty good on conversion downs, and the defense actually did pretty poorly on conversion downs. And then that inversely flipped in losses, where the offense actually struggled on conversion downs, third down or fourth down, and the defense actually showed a little bit better improvement but it was still in losses. So in wins on third down or fourth down, Texas among Big 12 teams ranked about third or fourth, and then in offense, so on offense on wins, Texas was converting those conversion downs around third or fourth in the conference, and then the defense in those situations in wins was ninth, was really far down the list. We know that's out of 10 teams. In losses, it was kind of the opposite. Texas on third down and fourth down was around seventh, eighth, ninth, depending on the situation you want to look at. And then the defense in losses was around fourth, fifth, sometimes sixth if we're talking about fourth down situations. So I think this year for this team, one of the keys is really going to be, yes, you want the defense to get off the field when they need to, but also just ensuring that we want this to be an alignment. You want the offense to be converting when it should be, and you want the defense to be stopping teams from converting when they need to. And I think that speaks to the overall kind of situation this Texas football program has been in for a little bit now, where it's lacked some of that high level consistency across the board, across units, and really across an entire game. Often you've seen flashes of the Texas football team having a great first quarter or having a strong moment or a strong drive, only to come back out the next drive, that next half, that next series, the following quarter and really just look flat or really have an inability to make an impact on defense or on offense. And so bringing all of this back to the reports of Arch Manning ripping off runs in practice, it is a little bit of concern for me, definitely a question of what does that mean for the defense? And is this defense really going to be able to make progress, not only getting after the quarterback and getting a pass rush, which we know is a focus and emphasis of theirs, but really playing sound defense throughout a game and really stepping up in moments when they need to? Is this defense going to be able to play different schemes, different strategies, and still be effective? And I think for Texas, if they want to go win the Big 12, obviously they're going to need to be able to rush a passer. I think they're going to need to be able to stop the running game. That's usually a key for strong defenses in a lot of different conferences, a lot of different scenarios. And then also for the defense, can they get off the field and prevent teams from having these long extended drives really when they need to? And then offensively, of course, it's all about, can Texas go put drives together, be one of the highest scoring offenses in the conference, and that's going to include, can they be better and more consistent about conversions and extending drives when they need to as well. So just something, a little note that I kind of took away from the Arch Manning reports. Again, for Arch himself, obviously it's a good thing that he is showing an ability to make plays, to see those opportunities, to use his legs when he can. But for me, where my head went was, well, what else is that saying about the team and the defense and the situation they're in? So we're, about 3 weeks away from Texas football. So there's certainly a lot of questions for this season. It is a pivotal season for the Longhorns, their final season in the Big 12. Definitely a pivotal season for Coach Sarkisian and his staff, who are now entering year 3 here in Austin. And I think as we get closer to the season and finally start to see some live games, we'll start to see some of these questions come into fruition and see how they perform, and we'll see how it all goes. So if you like this stuff, please like and subscribe. I will be putting out more content in general, especially fantasy football content. I'll be joining I'll announce this here in a little bit, but I have joined a fantasy football group, our dynasty football group and fantasy football group that has a really strong YouTube presence that's growing. I'm joining them in a research position, getting really nerdy in my sports stats. So I will have more content over on their channel. But for this channel specifically, these are just my takes, my opinions, my commentary on the different leagues and sports that I'm interested in. And one of those is going to be football, NFL football, college football, as we get closer to the season. And I'm pretty pumped for that to begin. So again, like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram. I also put up YouTube shorts here as well periodically. All right, thank y'all. Talk to y'all soon.